Imagine if one resource could influence wars, global alliances, and even the price of food. That resource isn't gold. It isn't technology. It's oil. For more than a century, one country has depended on oil more than almost anyone else, the United States. But here's the strange part. America produces millions of barrels of oil every day, yet it still acts like it can never get enough of it. So the real question is, why is the United States so addicted to oil? To understand this, you need to look at how the American economy works. The US is one of the largest economies on Earth, and that economy runs on energy. Millions of trucks deliver goods across the country. Planes connect cities thousands of kilometers apart. Factories produce products around the clock, and more than 280 million vehicles drive on American roads. All of this requires one thing: a massive supply of fuel. Oil powers transportation, industry, and global logistics. Without it, the system slows down, or worse, and stops completely. Now here's where the challenge begins. The United States produces a lot of oil, but it also consumes far more. This gap between production and demand has shaped American foreign policy for decades. Because if your economy depends on oil, you cannot afford to lose access to it. So America started paying very close attention to countries with huge oil reserves. And that's where geopolitics enters the story. Oil is not just energy, it's power. Countries with large oil reserves suddenly become very important on the world stage. This is why regions like the Middle East are constantly in global headlines. Oil supply affects transportation costs, energy prices, inflation, and even economic growth worldwide. When oil supply is threatened, the entire global economy feels it. Take Venezuela as an example. The country holds the largest proven oil reserves in the world. For decades, American companies were involved in Venezuela's oil industry. But when the Venezuelan government increased control over its oil sector, tensions with the United States began to grow. Economic sanctions followed. Politics became complicated. But behind the scenes, oil remained a key part of the story. Another example is Iraq. Iraq sits on some of the largest oil reserves in the Middle East. Its location makes it incredibly important to global energy markets. After the Gulf War in 1991, the United States maintained a strong presence in the region. Then in 2003, the U.S. launched a military invasion of Iraq. The official reasons involved security concerns and weapons programs. But many analysts believe oil stability was also an important factor. Because when energy supply is unstable, the global economy becomes unstable. Not every relationship is conflict. Some are strategic partnerships. The best example is Saudi Arabia. For decades, the relationship between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia has been built on a simple exchange. Saudi Arabia helps maintain stable oil supply, and the United States provides security and military cooperation. This partnership has played a major role in stabilizing global oil markets, and it has helped strengthen the role of the U.S. dollar in global energy trade. Even today, oil remains one of the most powerful resources on the planet. It affects transportation costs, electricity prices, inflation, and economic stability. When oil prices rise, everything becomes more expensive, from airline tickets to food at the supermarket. That's why countries like the United States constantly monitor oil producers and global supply routes, because controlling energy access means controlling economic stability. Now you might be thinking, what about renewable energy? Solar, wind, and electric vehicles are growing fast. But the truth is, the global economy still depends heavily on oil. And until that changes, oil will remain one of the most important resources in geopolitics. So when you hear about conflicts in oil-rich regions or alliances between powerful countries, remember something. It's rarely just about politics. Very often, it's about energy. Because in today's world, whoever controls energy has the power to shape the global economy.